Hello and welcome to another edition of UK Crime Caught on Camera. In this one, we're looking at the issue of people smuggling. A notorious Lancashire-based human trafficker, celebrated as the best people smuggler, has been put behind bars following an investigation by the National Crime Agency. Investigators linked him to 3 separate crossings made from France to the UK in late 2023. Each of these involved Kurdish migrants who travelled through Eastern Europe into Germany, Belgium, and then France. The smuggler advertised his services on social media using videos of those who he'd smuggled thanking him for help. One such piece of footage shows a group of men praising him on a boat bound for Italy. Another video found on YouTube by the NCA shows him partying with musicians in Iraq. The video is believed to have been recorded in 2021. They're honouring him as the best smuggler, saying all other smugglers have learned from him, while he throws cash and fires a gun in the air. NCA officers managed to record conversations he had with other smugglers, gathering information on movement of migrants, locations, and successful crossings. He was nabbed in May 2024, and his phone was seized. That linked him to several socials where he posted material advertising and promoting what he did. The smuggler was also found to have been in direct contact with some of those who he'd brought over on boats in 2023, with travel tickets for one of them being found on the handset. He was charged with 3 counts of facilitating illegal immigration, and the jury at Preston Crown Court found him guilty on all 3 charges, and he was sentenced to 17 years in prison in November 2024. An Albanian man who organised small boat crossings for migrants, including children as young as 5, has been jailed for 2 years and 8 months. He was in constant contact with people smugglers operating in northern France. He used an alias to contact migrants via WhatsApp and arranged crossings via small boats across the Channel from France to the UK. NCA investigators linked him to at least 31 crossings within a period of 5 weeks. In one conversation with another smuggler, he arranged the crossing of a woman and children aged 5 and 9 years old, bartering prices from £8,000 down to £7,500 for their crossing. In another, he referenced buying inflatable boats with prices ranging from £4,000 to £4,500 per boat. The NCA says that entering the UK via small boat is extremely dangerous, and evidence showed he had no regard for those he was smuggling, even arranging crossings for young children. A criminal network described by UK law enforcement as prolific and responsible for smuggling hundreds of people into the UK illegally has been destroyed. Key members of the Teesside-based group were found guilty following a trial by jury. Per the NCA, its figurehead, a Middlesbrough man, coordinated at least 5 conspiracies to smuggle Iraqi Kurdish migrants into the UK from mainland Europe in 2017. That same individual's associates recruited drivers and helped bring people into the country. People were charged between £5,000 and £10,000 by the crime group to be hidden in vehicles, including refrigerated lorry trailers, and brought to the UK. The Middlesbrough man had purchased the van and arranged for Milan builders to be painted on the side before planning the journeys. The crime group also fooled drivers to unwittingly smuggle migrants by having them transport legitimate commodities from the UK to mainland Europe. People were then loaded into vehicles without the driver's knowledge. A man who laundered money for people smuggling networks involved in small boats crossings has been jailed for 8 years. The man, originally from Iran, ran an unregistered money services business from an office block in Wood Green. According to the NCA, he acted as a trusted middleman, accepting payments from migrants or their families, and then releasing money to the criminal gangs following the completion of journeys to the UK, charging a commission at the same time. Authorities nabbed him in May 2021. Investigators obtained recordings of him telling associates 70 to 80% of our business is illegal. In other conversations, he was heard bragging that people smuggling gangs trusted him to deal with financial transactions on their behalf. He was found guilty of 5 counts of money laundering and facilitating illegal immigration, and was sentenced to 8 years in prison in 2024. A man thought to have been involved in smuggling around 10,000 people to the UK has been jailed for 11 years. The man directed his criminal small boats crossing network from his home in East London, sourcing boats in Turkey and having them delivered to Germany, Belgium and the Netherlands. He then had his criminal associates taken to the French coast, from where migrants would be transported. He was nabbed in May 2022 as part of a joint investigation involving the NCA and Belgian authorities. The investigation followed the seizure of a number of boats and outboard motors found by Belgian Federal Police in the back of 2 cars near the Belgian-French border in 2021. A British court ordered that he should be extradited to Belgium to face trial in Bruges. He was found guilty and sentenced to 11 years in prison. Another 19 convicted alongside him were handed jail terms of between 30 months and 8 years. The NCA said his network was one of the most prolific criminal groups involved in small boat crossings, transporting thousands of migrants to the UK. Three men who organised people smuggling crossings from France and Belgium to the UK are behind bars. The NCA say that 2 Albanians and a British national were responsible for a number of crossings back in October 2022. One of the Albanians organised, financed and collected payments from migrants, while the other acted as a conduit between mainland Europe-based facilitators and the UK. The NCA say this person and the Brit were crucial in arranging the crossings. The first incident occurred when a rigid-hulled inflatable boat named Orca was spotted by a UK Coast Guard plane offloading a number of migrants in Joss Bay in Kent. The same drop-off location was used for a second crossing a number of weeks later. Investigators discovered that the Albanian had used a false identity to arrange for the Orca to be moored at Marina in Brightlingsea and paid for repair work to make the vessel seaworthy. Phone evidence showed he was waiting on the beach as the boat arrived in the early hours. Officers were later able to identify him and the boat pilots and plot their journey from Essex to the Belgian-French coast and back again. The Albanians received 5 years and 4 years 9 months respectively. The British man was jailed for 4 years. Two men have been convicted for their roles in a major conspiracy to smuggle Vietnamese migrants into the UK in the back of lorries. The crossings were orchestrated by a Vietnamese national based in Birmingham. Phone evidence showed that he was part of a wider network of people smugglers transporting people illegally from Vietnam to the UK. Investigators believe some making the journey are thought to have relied on a form of debt bondage to fund part or all of their trip. They would have paid back the cost through working illegally in the UK or working in criminal enterprises like cannabis farms. A Kent-based taxi driver was involved in picking up migrants and then driving them to the West Midlands, as well as collecting cash payments. On some occasions, the Vietnamese smuggler himself would travel down to accompany migrants, sometimes using genuine and unwitting taxi companies to travel back to the Midlands after collection. Phone evidence was used by the NCA to map his journeys, corresponding with the movements of migrants' phones. The smuggler was nabbed at his home address by the NCA, having tried to flee the property when he saw officers arrive. The taxi driver was nabbed also. Both men were found guilty of conspiring to facilitate illegal immigration. He was given a 7.5-year sentence. The taxi driver got 2 years. An Albanian woman who worked as a fixer for people smugglers getting migrants across the channel in small boats has been jailed for more than 7 years. She facilitated crossings for Albanian nationals, including children, who risked their lives to reach the UK illegally. The fixer sent instructions to criminals in France on who they should pick up. She was finally caught following an investigation by the National Crime Agency, who revealed she was a key broker for people smugglers. The woman was arrested during an early morning raid at her home in Banbury in October 2023. She admitted facilitating illegal immigration at an earlier hearing and was jailed for 7.5 years. She was told she would be automatically deported at the end of her jail term. A Ferrari-driving conman was nabbed by cops after more than 5 years on the run. He fled the UK during his trial in 2018, after he was caught running a number of lucrative frauds. The playboy criminal hid out in Dubai after a £500,000 number plate scam and even taunted police through social media. He posted pictures of himself living a life of luxury, driving Ferraris, meeting celebrities, and being a philanthropist. While on the run in Dubai, he had a Siberian tiger cub, hung out with famous rapper Busta Rhymes, and smashed a $30,000 Rolex. All the while, he was a conman guilty of property crimes, fraud, and people smuggling. He was found guilty in his absence and jailed for 10 years at Birmingham Crown Court. Police nabbed him at Manchester Airport in December 2023. He admitted failing to appear at court and was jailed for 4 weeks, after which he'll serve his 10-year sentence. Thanks for watching UK Crime Caught on Camera on Shots. If you're watching us in Freeview, stay tuned for more authentic UK television curated from the hearts of British communities by journalists living in them. If you're watching anywhere else, please like, share us around, and subscribe if you haven't done so already.